I like decorating walls this way.
With your feet, it's great. We're going to be doing decorative finishes for walls today.
And also doing some front arm panels for a chair. Hey, what about Batman? He could have done this.
He could have done this, yeah. He had that big utility belt, no money would have fell out. Whoa. This looks good, though. You say the guy's a doctor?
Doctor ordered this, yeah. Dr. Scholes.
What are we going to do?
We're going to do some painted finishes, various decorative finishes for your walls, even your ceilings.
That's right. We got some colors here. We got a nice salmon color, kind of, and a red. I got them poured out in the paint pan because that's what I'm going to work from.
Me too.
Some foam brushes. I got a foam roller here. They're inexpensive, and they work well, especially with latex paint. A nice red bucket with some water.
Nice. And over here we have sponges.
Sponges.
And graining combs, various tines and thicknesses for various kinds of effects that you can do.
And this, when you're using latex, always use
paint.
A nylon brush because they're easier to clean. If you use a bristle brush with latex, you might ruin the brush.
And we have plastic, crumpled up plastic. I know you've probably seen us do crumpled up newspaper for marbleizing. This plastic is good for crumpling and painting as well.
And the reason you want to use the plastic is because if you use newspaper on latex paint, it might dissolve the ink on the newspaper and you may get black spots on your finish. So you don't
all
want
the news is bad anyway.
Let me paint something now. Now first we have two different colors here. So if I put on some of this nice red.
I'll paint with the lighter color, the salmon.
To take some of this plastic, make sure it's nice and crinkly. And I'll pick up some of this other color. And dab.
And I'll dab with the dark color.
You can go straight to a white if you want a starker effect.
You know, I've never done this before. Can anybody tell?
Really? Now, you do want to pay attention to what's happening. I'm dabbing here and I'm absorbing, I'm mixing a lot of the colors together. So if I was doing this on an entire wall, you would take it to this stage, kind of like what's over here, let it dry, and then come back and apply a second coat of your lighter color if you want more highlights.
I don't like mine.
Neither do I.
I don't like yours either.
Well, you started out like good, but you see, what you're doing is...
Teach, this is like a how-to show.
Well,
almost.
if you start in one corner, you know, and work your way down, see how I'm working from this corner and I'm working out. You're going all over the place. I'm dipping into the water here. Why?
You thirsty?
No. The latex is soluble with water, so I can soften up. Now I'm filling in with some more red.
I just can't get this part right. Everything else looks
Well,
good.
I know what to do.
What?
Go smoke about 20 packs of cigarettes and sit in the bar for about 40 hours.
That's always good for an artist.
Then it'll come to you. The important thing is to make sure that everything looks even. Even though you're doing a modeled effect, it's got to look balanced. If you put too much paint in one side, it's going to look unbalanced, uneven.
I don't know. Maybe this isn't for me. You be the judge. Don't go away, because next we'll be combing a wall. Shake your head, darling.
This program is brought to you in part by Skill Power Tools. Think of all the things you can do.
Skill Power Tools make such quick work of all your projects. You'll find time to get out there and work on all kinds of things. Skill Power Tools. Think of all the things you can do.
In places where people need an air conditioner that lasts a long, long, long time, they know
Okay, kid, run up and see if anybody's home.
it's hard to stop a train.
The last 5 years, we lived in 4 places, and everyone had tan carpeting. I want a place with walls you can actually paint different colors. A place for my kids to come back to after they've grown. A place that's, well, more than just a place. A home.
For a free guide that can put you on the path to home ownership, call the Fannie Mae Foundation. We're showing America a new way home.
Witness the accounts.
The light was coming at me. It was extremely bright.
Listen to the testimony.
It was hovering up here, just below the tops of the trees.
As TLC blasts off in search of unidentified flying objects.
It's kind of tough, really, to say just what the heck that could be.
Do they exist?
It's really getting a bit frightening up here. Let's hope they're friendly.
Case of the UFOs on Science Frontiers, Wednesday at 10 on TLC.
Next we have
The combs.
the combs.
Various
The combs.
mighty combs.
These mighty combs right here.
That gives you a lovely, even tilled field look.
All sorts of sizes, shapes. You got smaller one was the smallest. This is the smallest here.
This would be like a wheat one. This would be like for corn.
And this would be like a pick.
Yeah, I used to have a
for your
comb
hair.
like that in 1973.
And this
a
is
long suede coat and cream-colored platform shoes. Boy, was I a sight. Big hat.
I can't imagine. And hair down to your butt, right?
Well, my hair doesn't go down, it just goes out.
On this panel here, this got red on it already. I did a modeled effect just with a roller going over the primed piece of sheetrock. These are pieces of sheetrock. We just cut them up. What a whole sheet, cut them up. You may have some in the basement left over from a remodeling job or something.
Right, if you want to practice these wild and wacky things, you might want to do it on sheetrock.
Or if you're real brave, just go right to the wall. You know,
Don't
you
do
could,
that.
You could just paint right over it again. You're not like you're going to hurt the wall. So I already put some red on here, and this is going to be a first, an experiment. So,
There might be an explosion.
I'm going to put this color over top of it.
And I have the salmon on the
And I'm
bottom.
going to see, I want to put it on fairly thick.
He's such an artist. One day, I expect to find an ear on his floor.
Let's see. See, I'm making an effect even with just the red and the salmon color. A modeled effect with the roller. It's kind of soft and nice and romantic, I think.
Well, what do you think of that? You hate it, right?
It looks good,
Thank you.
but there's no beginning and there's no end.
Now what shall I do? I'll go this way. No, I won't either. And as we watch the gently undulating comb,
It kind of makes you want to sleep. First, relax the neck. Relax the neck, turn the head. See how silence is golden.
all right, you get a real sponge. These are genuine sponges, and they are sold in paint stores just for this purpose.
That's right, and therefore a stippling effect. They absorb water, and latex is water-soluble. You can pick up paint, and you can make dabs, and you can make all kinds of decorative effects. Got another blank canvas here.
Gonna put the salmon down.
I'll put some salmon down.
With the roller.
See, I like the pattern that rollers make.
We'll just leave that, and then we can go home.
See, to me, that's the...
You missed the spot.
I did that on purpose, because I'm going to put... That's a light switch. See?
What an artist, folks.
See, now, if I was popular, I could sell that.
Yeah, too bad you ain't.
Well, look. You can make a candle, too. See?
Yeah. Don't worry, soon you'll have a show, and you'll say, as seen on TV, Starving Artist Sale.
Got the picture, but no frame? No matter.
All right, now I'm going to stipple with the salmon.
Again, you're blending the colors together, and it can be a similar effect as the first technique that we did, but it'll be a bit more muted. And notice over here, I got a little piece of wood, and I'm just putting some of the red on so I don't have to keep dipping into the pan, because I don't want to keep picking up huge globs of paint like someone I know is doing. You're getting carried away now. Why don't you pick up some more red, and I'll make some heavy red highlights on that.
See? Now you're teaching.
Well?
You're getting dangerously close to teaching now. Highlights all over?
Can I just show you?
Sure.
If you pick up some red, and now...
Okay.
See, now you got the start of something big here.
Steve Allen wrote that.
Schmuck, schmuck.
Gets up in the morning, writes
a song.
Goes to the bathroom, wrote another song. Jane, I'm out of toilet paper here.
Wait, I can make a song out of that. I'm out of toilet paper
here, Jane. What a guy.
Fetch me a newspaper.
I call it Hendrix on Venus. We've brought in these walls to demonstrate
a more advanced technique, a painting technique. And this is, we're going to duplicate, see this fabric here? It's from an actual job that I did. This is a moire. We're going to duplicate this pattern on a wall. It's a finish very popular in Amsterdam.
Moire.
Moire.
From Amsterdam. Put a Richard Deakins bench down here, maybe do it in a Dick Van Dyke brown.
That's right.
That's enough.
Anyway, what you need to do with this finish, you need oil paint, you need a roller, you need a paintbrush, you need a graining comb. Well, I have this graining comb that...
Hand it down to you.
This is the one that I did the finish with. This is an older one, and it's got the hairs on it, which are really steel, are smaller than the other ones.
32nd of an inch, you'd say?
Just about, yeah. It's got the original green paint on there, too.
And that's what... You'd never cleaned it off because you knew we were going to use more green.
You want it to look lived in.
And that's going to give it the fine grains of this original.
Well, you're never going to be able to duplicate this actual pattern, but it will give you that undulating effect that, you know, looks like an electrocardiogram. But what you have to do is you paint the paint on. You have your partner, your helper, go around with a roller. You can see back here, it's already been cut in. I cut that in.
You know what cutting in is?
That's cutting in.
Yeah, it's when you do the edges carefully with a brush.
Well, I tape them, too.
You tape them, too, and then when you fill in with the roller, you don't have to roll right up to the edge.
That's right. So you get somebody to roll them in, then you got to let the paint sit, and you got to let it tack up a little bit. And then we're going to go from ceiling to chair rail molding, the whole piece, run the cone from the top all the way to the bottom. Excuse me.
That's all right.
And then go from the chair rail molding down to the baseboard.
Now I'm going to roll with the green paint. I don't think I need to get on the ladder here.
Oh, look at all that heavy blob up there.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
You know, when you roll, you start in the middle of the wall, not at the top.
Well, I wanted to...
And the paint's got to be applied unevenly because you're going to be pulling this paint down. If it's on too thick, it's going to glop up. If it's on too thin, you're not going to make any marks. So, I'm ready to grain now. I'm going to use this comb that I showed you before, and I'm going to use a rag for when I pull down. I'm going to gather paint on the teeth here, and you just want to wipe it off as you go. And the trick is, as I said, I'm going to pull from the top down.
And
then go from the bottom up.
From the bottom up.
So we'll see what happens.
Now, we've painted both of these walls and let them dry. You have to judge for yourself how long you want to let it dry. If you're doing a whole wall, it might be a two-person job. That is, one person uses the roller and the other person follows with the comb. If you're doing it by yourself, you don't want to paint 10 feet of wall and then go back to the comb because the beginning of the wall will be too dry to comb. Make sure the paint also isn't too thick on the wall because then it'll bunch up on the comb.
I'm going to go up. Now, at night, when the lights are dimmed...
Just candlelight. Yeah. What's the end of that?
There's a flickering effect that occurs.
You're not only getting a look, you're getting a texture here.
You're getting a texture, okay?
I'll now demonstrate the cover of every record album of 1963.
Beatles. That's like... That's our album cover, the Furniture on the Men album cover.
Give them a stepladder, then.
When you take off your tape...
You'll see how beautiful it looks. And there we have our moire.
When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's amore?
Welcome to Thomasville. With this Memorial Day, you'll find elegance and timeless craftsmanship at once-in-a-lifetime prices. The Thomasville Memorial Day Sale. Extraordinary furniture, extraordinarily priced. Call now for details, because after May 27th, this sale will only be a beautiful memory. Thomasville. Make yourself at home.
There's more soap residue in your clothes than you think. So you'd better call Rain Soft.
Every American Standard air conditioner must endure literally hundreds of inspections before being permitted to leave the factory. And if any little thing is less than perfect, well, we have ways of dealing with troublemakers. Built to a higher standard, American Standard air conditioning.
So you wanted a sensible wedding. A wedding sensible?
What do you want to make this big thing out of a piece of cake?
You're on the front lines of Wedding Bell Madness. Saturday at 8 on TLC. Get ready for how-to advice from the ground up on the renovation guide. Coming up next. Then, double your knowledge, double your fun with back-to-back episodes of Home Time. It's all next right here on TLC.
Whether you buy your flowers from the florist or over the phone, chances are they've spent up to 9 days in a truck. But we're different. We're Calyx and Corolla. The only way you can order flowers that are fresh picked by the growers and shipped by Federal Express the very same day, which means your flowers arrive fresher and last up to 10 days longer. Call Calyx and Corolla at 1-800-733-2715 to order an exquisite Mother's Day bouquet, a handcrafted heart wreath, or a charming miniature rose bush in a hammered brass cachepot. For longer-lasting flowers, call Calyx and Corolla and turn Mother's Day into Mother's Week.
See, Joe, pry. Pry, Joe, pry.
I'm prying.
I pried off my front arm panel.
There he
Joe's
goes.
prying off his. You see, it is
Now it's a flap.
It's attached by the umbilicus of cording.
But couldn't you just let this hang and put your remote control on here?
You know, I see people with like little holsters on the side of their recliners. I think that is just so American.
Okay, so what are you going to take off all this? Or
Yes.
you've taken it off already?
I have actually taken it off. I've
Save
taken
the
off
staples.
my front arm panel. As you can see, the front arm panel is hiding all the ratty edges of fabric that have come from various other fabric panels. And I've pulled mine off, and I have removed the cording, and I have removed the outer fabric. And what do we have underneath? The cotton batting. And underneath the cotton batting, attached to it,
plywood.
a bit of plywood, and we have a flap of cardboard, which keeps this. This is a very special kind of nail. You can find these. Can you find them easily? No. You can go to an upholstery supply store. You can go to a magazine shop and get a woodworker supply book, and there in the back will be lots of different catalogs that will devote 90% of their pages to woodworking and finishing.
But you'll find some upholstery in
and
it.
2 pages for upholstery.
Just don't go looking for a picture of that nail.
So what I'm going to do is pull this back. I'm not going to replace the cotton batting because Y looks fine. And with the staple gun, I'll put 1 staple in there. Wait a minute. Cover it with the batting, and now replace the fabric. What fabric are we replacing with?
Something blue, I think.
Where
right?
have you been?
Same as the buttons.
Same as the buttons, same as the back, same as the fabric that we got a lot of. And I just pull this around. This is how you make front arm panels. The top, you got to make pleats. You got to hide the pleats.
You're doing the sides and then the top.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's so small. And besides, if you see any of these pleats, which you're not going to if you pull them tight, they're going to be obscured by the cording that we have not eliminated. I have to redo the cording. Yes, I do. Does it look ratty underneath there? My friends, it's going to. That's the whole deal about this stuff. It looks ratty underneath.
But on the outer knee.
The outer side, it looks nice.
I can't see it from here.
Clean. It's a lot like our lives, you know, outside.
Speak for yourself.
Outside, everything's fine and dandy. Underneath, who knows the festering evil?
Turmoil.
I like to
You want to
bang.
put a pad on that and then bang with your mallet.
I'm just banging with my big fist. Front arm panel is done. That wasn't hard, was it?
Hello. Welcome to Focus on Furniture.
Today we'll be discussing a particular kind of furniture that's very popular today.
It's called Nordic Surprise.
Nordic Surprise. And it is often broken down and shipped in boxes for you, the consumer, to assemble.
Mm-hmm.
Various parts of the different furniture are manufactured in different areas of the world. Do you think that somebody in one hemisphere can make one part of a cabinet, another person in another hemisphere can make the other part, and it all fits together perfectly?
Mm-mm.
Let's find out.
Well, first let's open it up.
Whoops. Now, we used to tell people, test the quality of furniture by lifting it up because heavy furniture is better. But flakeboard, God, it weighs a ton. And flakeboard is not good.
It's all pressed wood. It's all wood chips that are all pressed and formed into sheets that they cut up, and then they laminate wood grain. This is a picture of wood on here, I believe.
No, yeah, I believe it is.
It's a picture. It's a picture.
But it's a nice picture.
It looks nice.
It could be a picture of your aunt. It doesn't matter. And here we have, gee, I don't know which part of the furniture this is.
This is a flute, isn't it?
This is plastic. Don't show them that.
No, those are directions.
These are the directions.
Here's your...
And the directions are, they're just pictures now.
So you don't necessarily have to know how to read, just how to follow a picture, like where knob A goes into hole B and things like that. And the wonderful surprise package we have here, it's just like a bag of those, you get the prize, no Cracker Jacks. Like now, you got little fluted dowels here.
Yeah, and you're going to need glue for that.
You're going to need glue, right?
Find the glue.
Here's a little pack.
Give you the packet of glue.
I thought this was that silica to keep out the moisture.
No, what a country.
But it's actually a little glue, and I think you put a little pinhole there, and you can...
And that's to put together the drawer, right?
That's, yeah.
Now, how much did this cost, you may ask? I was told this cost about 50 bucks.
Now for 50 bucks, you can go to any sidewalk flea market, or
buy something you not only don't have to put together, but doesn't have an ounce of flake board. There's no way to repair flake board. Other things can be glued or something. Flake board breaks apart, just like if you made something out of shredded wheat and lacquer.
Toast, yeah.
It's gone. It's gone. Is this stuff worth buying? I believe...
To a point.
If you have the stipend from mom and dad, freshman year, the $1,000 for the entire room or the $850, yes. If you are a homeowner, your first home, and you don't have time to go out and shop for something that might have some quality, you just want to, you know, it's like fast food, only furniture. So we put it together. Can you put it together? Yeah.
The one thing you got to remember if you do buy something like this, and I've bought some. I bought a couple large bookshelves because they were on sale, and I needed to put up a lot of books and a lot of albums. But if you get something that's really big, the longer the shelf and the heavier things that you put on there, the shelf eventually is going to bow.
And
then you'll have to put up broomsticks in between to hold it up, or shelf holders.
So remember, if you're going to just get shelves, why not get some 2x6s from a lumber yard and bang them together? I mean, just a shelf can be banged together with nails.
I always say in buying something like this, I take the lyric from a fine old song, always let your conscience be your guide.
What song is that?
It's from Pinocchio.
Is it really?
Uh-huh. That's it for this week.
Next on TLC, put a vintage house in tip-top shape. Bob Vila shares his years of experience on the Renovation Guide. Then it's a twofer, back-to-back home time shows with Dean and Joanne.